This is Floridians,
a Philly sports podcast.
Hey, pal, that's my line.
Dude, just shut up and start the show. Come on, man.
Welcome to another episode of the Floridians podcast. My name is David George Smith. I'm joined as always by my trusty sidekick, Luke McClatchy. Luke, how you doing, my friend?
I prefer the term partner. Sidekick makes me feel like I should be up here in like a Robin outfit. Like, yay, Batman.
You're thinking too much into it. You're thinking way too much into it. I say it every episode. I don't know if you even noticed. But we haven't done an episode in a hot minute. We're back.
Yeah, I know.
We're back. We got stuff to talk about. We're going to get into these Phillies. We're going to get into these Sixers. We're going to do a way too early Eagles prediction. But first, we got a very special guest. The first guest in Floridians history. We got David Cianci, a.k.a. The Modern Table. Dave, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. I appreciate you having me on, David and Luke. It's a pleasure. This is my first ever podcast, and I'm grateful and excited that you guys were willing to have me on to be able to talk Philly sports and talk shop about what's going on in the Philly food world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Glad to have you.
Yes. So, I guess, first of all, if you want to plug anything, shout anything out for the people at home, the floor is yours, my friend. I want to do this usually they do it at the end of podcasts, but I like to do it at the beginning just to give you whatever you want to plug, whatever you want to shout out. The floor is yours.
Sure, I'll just plug out my TikTok and YouTube. If you go on there, it's just The Modern Table, one word, The Modern Table. I came up with my name, just tried to find something that might be brandable and replicable off of multiple platforms that wasn't my name. So don't have too big of a following, but if you're interested in food vlogging, if you want to know where really interesting spots are to eat around, not just the Philly region, but also in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia, where I currently live. I post everything from rating, little stands, restaurants, fine dining. I might start expanding into other avenues like grocery stores or convenience stores, or maybe even cooking for myself. But right now, I'm just someone who tries to support local mom and pop businesses by going to their restaurants and just reviewing their food and trying to make good footage on it. And hopefully it goes viral and, it helps their business. At the end of the day, I'm here for the people. I want to try and give back to those in need and those that I think, appreciate, what good food is and those that make it. So, yeah, that's all I have to say there, but I appreciate the plug in the beginning.
Absolutely. You mentioned grocery stores, and we got to tell you, down here in Florida, I will say, Publix has the best fried chicken that I've ever had. I'm
Really?
sure it's better. I'm sure it's better at somewhere, in a local place in Kentucky or something. But for what we have, Publix just beats out Zaxby's for me, beats out Cane's, it beats out I haven't had Bojangles, but all the chicken spots, dude, Publix is the spot. Publix is the spot.
So a place where we grew up nearby in Harleysville that has really good fried chicken. I'm not sure if you've ever
Yes.
heard of it, but Henning's Market.
Yes.
Henning's Market has some incredible fried chicken for a Philly suburb.
Hennings,
Right.
like you walk into Hennings and they have everything, dude. They have hoagies, they have fried chicken, they have pizza, they have sushi, like the whole 9 yards, dude. Hennings is a spot. Luke doesn't know ball, but if he knew ball, dude, Hennings is the spot. Shout out to Hennings, bro.
Yeah, a
I-
lot
I
of specialty items, really great buffet growing up. I went there up until I know they had the kids eat free until you were about 8 years old. I tried to eat free until I was about 12. My dad and I would sneak me in there and I'd say I was younger, but man, they had some good hot bar foods.
Dude, absolutely. Alrighty. So we're gonna get into something really cool at the end of the show. I do want to talk a little bit about these Phillies. I want to do a way too early Eagles schedule prediction. I want to talk about these Sixers. First thing I want to get into is these Phillies. We just came off of the All-Star break. The Phillies, to me, are one of the strangest contenders in baseball right now. They started out 9-19 or something like that. Fired Rob Thompson. Now we're sitting here Schwarber leads baseball in home runs, but the bats are still a little bit streaky. And the bullpen outside of Johan Duran is not very feasible. So I'm wondering, Dave, as a guest on the show, what are your thoughts about this Phillies team, going into the heart of July, going into the heart of the season?
Yeah, so I think up to date, I think it's obvious that we see a top heavy team. And by top heavy, I mean way too top heavy. I think we're led by our all-stars, and that's about it. If our all-stars are performing, then our team's performing great. But if they have one bad game, we're toast.
Yeah.
I think we really need to make some trade deadline acquisitions that highlight just to fill the gaps with more consistency. So maybe a couple guys that can just get on base a little bit more than some of our really low starters. I think just some relievers that can just minimize the walks and just maybe produce a little bit more ground balls. That's where we should start, especially in the bullpen. Unfortunately, with the play of Aaron Nola and Andrew Painter, I think we're going to be forced to have to get another starting pitcher. And, who that is, I'm not so sure, but just somebody who can eat some innings without just giving up a bunch of runs. I'm not too hopeful. What I've seen from the Phillies right before the All-Star break and with the injury to Brad Keller, I'm sure you guys will want to talk about that more. I think that's a huge concern of mine because everyone in the bullpen is not performing except if your name is Orion Kerkering and Johan Duran. I just don't know how we're supposed to survive past the sixth inning if we can't trust anyone to turn to our bullpen before the eighth and ninth. So my red flags are going off, but mid-season grade up to this point, I'd say the fact that we turned it around after what I thought we weren't going to make the playoffs, I'd say C+, not a B, just because I'd say we need to see some more consistency and maybe get into first place for me to have a B, but C+ for the fact that we actually turned it around and now we're in somewhat of a playoff position and making a fight. I think that deserves some credit, and hopefully we can try and continue on the latter half of the second half success we've been having. But I am concerned once we get to playoff time, if we face Cubs, Brewers, or Dodgers, we're cooked.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Keller's injury didn't create a bullpen problem. I think it sort of showed the problem that we've had for years now. I mean, it's been a hot minute since we've had a decent bullpen outside of Johan Duran, but I mean, you got Kerkering in there. He's going to give you something, but other than that, man, it's been horrible these past couple seasons as far as having a bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you with the C+ rating. I mean, it really feels like the fact that we didn't make a whole lot of moves in the offseason really feels like management and everything's just doubling down on eventually the bats won't go cold in October. And it's like, maybe, but they're only getting older. And, we're on attempt number 4 with this core, and it's gotten worse every year. We won World Series, NL Championship. We've been moving backwards every time, honestly. So we'll see. But yeah, I think you're right, spot on with that C+. Although, I mean, if they can move into first, I think I want to give them something a bit more generous than a B, just with, the age of the roster, overcoming the shortcomings. And that would get us into first. So I think I would give them higher than a B. But yeah, right now I'm right with you, C+.
Yeah. I think C+, definitely right in that C range. This is good. So let us know your thoughts. Let us know what we're thinking. We're going to move on a little bit to some Sixers basketball. All right. So since we've been back, the Sixers have made a killer move. They got Jaylen Brown. It's awesome. I've been reading a lot of the power rankings. CBS has us at number 8 in the league. I've seen some at where we're in the top 5. I'm wondering your guys' thoughts, how we're going to compete with the East, because you got Kawhi back in Toronto. The Knicks are still the Knicks.
Not yet.
Not yet. And we're still waiting on to see what LeBron.
Kawhi
See what
be a
LeBron
felon.
does.
We don't know.
Kawhi might be a convicted felon.
Actually,
Yeah, with the
it's-
whole aspiration thing, you know, with the landscaping with the Clippers.
like he can
Like
legitimately
a ridiculous
get-
like $50 million contract, and he never did any work for them. That's a major violation of the NBA. They think the Clippers made up that fake thing just to circumnavigate the salary cap and give him a raise to stay. So yeah,
So could he actually get prison time?
I mean, prison time, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law well enough, but he would definitely be facing like a 1-season suspension.
Let's put that question in Claude.
And the trade with Toronto isn't finalized until his trial's over. And, you know, Toronto's probably going to cancel the trade, you know, if they find out that he's going to miss the entire season with him at his age.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Like,
I mean, why would you want to trade Brandon
the trade
Ingram?
probably falls through?
Like, I would never want to trade Brandon Ingram just for
Nothing.
Kawhi Leonard just to be out for the whole year, because Brandon Ingram could at least do something for a year, or maybe
Yeah, this
ship
may
him
be
off for
cool.
something else.
With how well Scotty Barnes played in the first round against the Cavs, and like I know obviously they didn't win, but with how well he played, it really seemed like this Kawhi was kind of like an all-in, like this is Scotty's team and we need a vet / semi-reliable second option. Like when Kawhi's on the court, he's great, but it's always when. So
according to Claude AI, it looks like Kawhi Leonard is not facing prison.
yeah.
Again,
I'm not a lawyer. It's a funny
Just thought I'd bring that to
yeah,
everyone's
he
attention.
could be facing like a huge suspension if he's guilty. Like NBA takes it very seriously. All leagues do if you like circumnavigate the salary cap.
I just wonder if he would have a longer suspension than who has the longest suspension in NBA history? Meta World Peace for his
Was it
fight?
Ron Artest? Yeah, I think it was.
Jackson. Because I think Meta World Peace and Steven Jackson got like an 82-game suspension.
Okay.
What is the? Yeah, that's actually a great
Let me
question.
look that up.
What is the longest NBA suspension? Is it OJ Mayo? Because OJ Mayo got suspended for two years, like 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I think it was OJ Mayo. Yeah.
Yeah, Malice at the Palace. Ron Artest got an 86-game suspension. Steven Jackson got 30. Jermaine O'Neal got 15 games, and Ben Wallace got 6. But yeah, 86-game suspension.
So one whole season, then just 4 games and the 4 more games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. But
Anyway.
you know,
Yeah, that's the
That is-
longest one ever. Ron Artest's 86-game ban.
Wow.
And then second place was Latrell Sprewell, 68 games for choking his coach.
I
goodness
wonder what his
gracious.
coach didn't play him.
It was something like that.
Coaches in the NBA are just not respected unless you're like Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson.
Well, it's
Mike
'cause
Brown.
it's a different game. Like they're not out there. Like they are like drawing plays up and everything, but it's not like the NFL where like nothing happens on the field if there isn't a play. Like the NBA, you
Yeah.
have the talent and the floor enough to, you know, freestyle it a little bit.
We're looking at the East. You got the Knicks. They're going to come back strong. You know that's going to happen. Indiana's going to come back strong if they stay healthy.
Yeah, Tyrese
guys-
needs some time to get in game shape again.
You got the Raptors if Kawhi doesn't get incarcerated. And, you know, you got Miami with getting Giannis. So I'm
Cap
wondering,
still-
Cleveland is still there. So I'm wondering, how do we think that this Sixers team is going to do with this new addition of Jaylen Brown?
I think our floor with Jaylen Brown is about what we did this year, like second round exit. But I think our ceiling, I think we could make a conference finals push. I don't know if we've got the ammo to make the finals, but it's a step in the right direction. And I mean, we've got Jaylen Brown for like 5 more years. So, you know, Maxey and Edgecombe are just only going to keep getting better. I still think even with the Jaylen Brown addition, I really feel like it all falls on how many games Embiid plays and when he's available. I think that's still the team ceiling.
Yeah, I'll add on to that last point. You know, I think we're going to go as far as Embiid can take us. And I think, you know, he's probably going to play, if I had to guess, between 50 to 60 games maximum. And I'd put Embiid's floor, if he has a somewhat healthy season, hopefully around 30 to 40 games. And I would not be surprised if we end up back in the play-in. And the reason for that is, you know, as you just said, Dave, you know, bearing in mind that, you know, what's expected if Kawhi is on the Raptors, if Tyrese comes back to all NBA form, the Knicks continue their torrid run into the playoffs they just had. Cleveland continuing consistency in the top 4. But also you got Miami to compete with. Now, I don't think Miami's going to be that great, if I'm being honest. I think they got way more holes than the Sixers. I would expect Miami to be more of a play-in team, but I think the East is going to be competitive, and I think it's going to be hard for us if Embiid doesn't play more than half the season to get out of the play-in because, you know, you never know. Maybe the Magic can have a bounce-back year. The Hornets, they got some different pieces, so we don't know how well they'll perform. A dark horse that I think is going to be a really good team that we're going to have to compete with is the Wizards. I think the Wizards are probably going to get in the playoffs somehow or another. I think they got really great depth. And I think as we just saw with the championship this year with the Knicks team, depth is going to win. And I think, you know, the Wizards are one of those teams that do have a lot of depth that might surprise a lot of people and sneak in. Now, I know that wasn't specifically about the Sixers, but, you know, I hope the Sixers do well. I think the Jaylen Brown addition is going to help us tremendously, but I'm not too confident in our bench. And I think, you know, we're not going to go deep in the playoffs unless management starts to make some additions to the 3-point line and we get some shooters. I think especially some 2 or 3 guards, even a 4 that can shoot. We need shooters off the bench. I know we got Anthony, maybe LeBaron will be able to shoot.
A real good addition.
But, you know, this starting 5 with Embiid, Jaylen, and maybe VJ, you know, he's got a decent 3-point shot, but I think we got to spread the floor as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm worried about is every time that we land a big name in recent history, something always happens. You look at Al Horford.
Every time, too, we've landed them over the hill. Like Al Horford was like 32 when we got him. Chris Webber was already injury prone when we got him. Dikembe Mutombo was in his 30s. Like Jaylen Brown's like right in his prime, like right there. I really don't think we've had an addition like that in like a fat minute since like Jimmy Butler, really. And Jimmy was great. He just left after a year, but can't say on the court that it didn't work.
Yeah.
What's
some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it just goes to show our latest playoff series against the Knicks. You know, our starters got burned so much. I'm just hoping we got some people coming off the bench to support them, especially Embiid and Maxey and VJ, who have a ton of minutes in the playoffs.
I think we made a step in the right direction with LeBaron.
Absolutely. He looks well.
He might be another Maxey level steal right around there.
Also, we didn't even mention Detroit. Like Detroit could easily just come back and like the East is going to be fun to watch this year.
Yeah, it's pretty disrespectful. I mean, Celtics too. They're still going to be good.
Yeah,
Boston.
The disrespect, although it was kind of justified that Jalen Duren got throughout the playoffs. I really don't think Detroit's going to make it next year, and he's going to be as bad. Like I think for him, that's a career-defining moment where that either becomes his reputation or, you know, he becomes like one of the greats where everyone remembers that they had an awful first playoff series. Like Kobe Bryant against the Jazz, his first time, he was iconic for airballing 4 shots in a row, but, you know, then he came out and was Kobe Bryant. So not saying Jalen Duren's at that level, but I mean, Yeah, give some guys some breaks in their first playoff appearances.
Absolutely.
They take your favorite weapon away from you, which Jalen Durney's a great lob threat. So obviously they're not just going to let you lob it up to your big man every play. But I think a lot of people are going to be surprised that he spends this offseason actually like developing his game.
Yeah, the East it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be really fun to watch.
I think Eastern Conference basketball is like the best it's going to be this year since like the 90s.
I'm excited for the competitiveness. I think it's going to really, I think the Eastern Conference is going to start tipping towards more our scale, much more difficult conference compared to the West. I think the West is just going to be very top heavy with the Thunder and Spurs for a long time. And I think now we're going to see a little bit more balance and more teams in the East competing. So I'm excited for that because, over the past couple of years, I kept thinking, I wonder who's going to make it out of the East because, the teams in the playoffs just didn't look like they could match any of the Western teams.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's
What are
some
your thoughts?
surprises there. Indiana ended up being really good. They didn't look that good, but they were, possibly a torn Achilles away from winning it all. So, I mean, the East always has a way of stepping it up in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, they're really, ever since LeBron left for the Lakers, there's never really been a clear favorite out of the East.
Speaking of LeBron, he's still up in the air. Now, he did say at Fanatics Fest that he's going to trust the process. He did say that.
I just
So,
read that before the podcast.
Do we read too much into that? Do we get our hopes up? I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so here's my thing. Here's my take on it. And I don't mean to sound like a doomer at all. But if you're LeBron James, this is most likely your last year, right?
Yeah.
This is most likely your last year playing. Do you really think that he's going to come out of nowhere and just come to Philadelphia?
Yeah.
The only connection we really have to him is Maxey. Like, I'm just saying, if this is the last year of your career and you're a guy who cares about your legacy as much as LeBron, the Cavs and the Heat look like much more likely options. Now, not trying to be a doomer. I still think we have a chance, but just the way LeBron thinks.
But he wants to go to a contender. I mean, what are the teams that are in contention now? I mean, I think it's Miami, Golden State, and the Sixers.
He wants to go to a contender, but LeBron's always a big city guy. He's played for Miami and LA, and then the only times he's had an exception to that is Cleveland, which is where he's from. So he's only played for home in two of the biggest cities and biggest markets.
Yeah, I've heard the Timberwolves in there as well as one of the rounding out the 5 teams.
I cannot see LeBron signing with the Timberwolves. I don't really. It would be a great fit on paper, but I can't imagine LeBron James living in Minnesota.
That just seems like such a fever dream. Yeah.
But like that's kind of how I feel about Philly too. Like I feel like we're a great fit on paper, but in all actuality, like I don't know. I'm really surprised we made it this far in the race for him. I really hope it's not a 2018 again where he just blue balls us.
I have a weird feeling that he's considering the Warriors more than a lot of news outlets are saying he is. I just think about the timeline of Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and maybe even getting Clay back on the Warriors. LeBron fits their timeline perfectly for the next 1 to 2 years. They've pretty much gone all out. They could easily offload Jimmy's contract if LeBron wants more than a vet minimum to go to the Warriors.
Draymond, Steph. I mean, that's not a bad lineup for a last chance.
That just makes sense in my mind. It's that one.
Yeah, I think
just with all the factors,
Golden State or Cleveland makes the most sense for him. I'd love to have him here, but I don't know. It seem unlikely. I don't want to count us out again. I think it's a great fit on paper, and I think we'd be the best team on paper that he could sign with. But
a lot of news outlets are saying that he's considering the Sixers because of the Clutch Sports representation with Tyrese Maxey connection, but I just don't see it. I don't feel like that's a big enough reason for LeBron to join the Sixers. I really think it's going to come down to him believing if Brown and Embiid can also carry the Sixers, since this is obviously Maxey's team.
I
Now,
feel
here,
hoping
here,
for LeBron to come to the Sixers is like buying a lottery ticket where it's really fun to daydream about what if you won those sweepstakes, but I'm not really banking on having him on our roster in October.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like go to Vegas and bet my life savings on it.
No, but
I
it's
mean,
like buying a lottery ticket. You have a little bit of fun dreaming about the possibility, but you
I,
probably
I I do think we have a better chance than Cleveland because I just can't see him playing with James Harden.
oh well, if he goes to Cleveland, James Harden's getting sent to like China,
Or he should be.
as he should be. Yeah, he's ruining the
Yeah.
sport. He's the worst athlete I've ever watched with my own two eyes.
And we got some takes from some fans, and well, one of them said Jarrett at Jay Griffey said LeBron's going back to Cleveland. That's just biased because he's from Ohio. We got Blue 21. He says Sixers over under is 53.5 wins this year. I think that's pretty
Yeah,
realistic.
I think that's a good number. I think we could be anywhere from like 49 to 60.
I'd really put it under that, to be honest. I just don't see the health
Caleb
of
Brown
Embiid
without
going under.
had the Celtics at a 2 seed, and I think he's got more support on this team than he had on the Celtics last year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I
I
don't
could
know.
understand that.
I wouldn't count us out just yet. I think
Hmm.
this Jaylen Brown move is a really good one.
Justin Panner says Jaylen Brown is a cancer and will be Al Horford 2.0 if we don't get LeBron.
Justin Panner also said that James Harden and Joel Embiid would be the next Shaq and Kobe, and he lied to me. Justin Panner, you are a liar and a deceiver.
Justin Panner is a liar and cannot be trusted.
No, I'm just kidding. Justin's a great guy.
Shout out to Justin, man.
Justin's a good guy. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts about this. All right. Should we just jump into this Philly food tier list?
I think so.
Because
Up
I
to
think
you.
I think it's way too early to. I mean, not way too early. We're about to hit training camp, but I think it's a little early to do an Eagles schedule prediction.
Well, the other
Do
thing,
you guys talk about the Flyers?
oh no, we haven't talked about
Yeah,
that. The
no.
lot of those moves fell through. I was kind of disappointed.
very disappointing for the Flyers.
I thought for sure we got the rug pulled out right from under us for Leo Carlson. That was a little disappointing.
I was really hoping we were going to get him, but I always think with offer sheets, you know, if you're the team extending one, I don't think it ever works. I think most teams match them, but I think it goes to show Danny Briere, I think he's not going to make a dumb move. I think he's going to look for the right player. So I think that gives me confidence that he's going to find someone soon. It might be at the trade deadline. It might be next offseason, but I think eventually he's going to get his guy. And I'm hoping it's not going to be another offer sheet, because then we're going to be back at square one. So I think we're going to have to make some sort of trade. I doubt it's going to come through free agency, but man, the Flyers are on the up and up. If I'm confident, I know the Sixers just got Jaylen Brown, but I'm more confident in the Flyers' trajectory than the Sixers right now. I think the Flyers are really on the up and up, and I think we got our young core that's going to carry this team for the next 5 years.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts in the
Claude
comments.
Giroux, why'd you break my heart? You could
I
have
know.
you could have been my hero again.
No, I don't think that wasn't really his fault.
It absolutely was.
It's never his fault.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it hurts. I really thought Claude Giroux was gonna be back.
Me too.
What does Ottawa have that we don't, man?
Free healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, their healthcare sucks, so you're going to wait like 5 hours. to
Already on
get
a sports team. It's
arm-
free for them anyway.
You're going to wait 5 hours for like a heart surgery.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of heart surgery, Speaking of heart problems, let's get into this Philly food tier list.
Yeah.
Or do we want to go in order of the tier list, or do we want to kind of like jump around on it? Because it's got the pictures in order. If we have it all in front of us, like, do we kind of want to jump around, or do we want to put it in the order that the website gave us?
Well, I'll give you the website, and if you can see it, everybody can see this. For the people that are listening to the audio, I apologize. You're just gonna have to imagine this in your head. But here's the. But we're starting
So
out
give a
with
visual
cheesesteaks.
representation for the audio listeners.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So in order. Oh, you go, Dave. Sorry.
No, you can. Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, so in order for our audio listeners, we got the cheesesteak, we got Scrapple, we've got the Citywide. We'll go over what all these are too. Like I'm just
Yeah.
naming the names. When we get to them on the list, we'll explain what they are. We've got the roast pork sandwich. We've got the. I'm trying to read that. I might need glasses.
Schmitter.
Schnitzel. I think it's.
It's what we call
No,
our
Schmitter.
Oh, Schmitter. Oh, Schmitter. Yeah.
We have the Clover Club. We got the soft pretzel. We got the combo. We got the stromboli. We got the crab fries, the tasty cake, the Irish potato, Texas Tommy, Italian hoagie, tomato pie, the peanut chew, the water ice. It's even typed out in water. Like that's how you know it's legit. We got the pepper pot and we got the Philly taco. And again, we will go over what all these are when we get to them on the list, but that is just the order that is in front of us.
So do we start out with the cream of the crop?
Yeah,
de la
we should
creme.
go over for the audio too. We've got an order from S, A, B, C, D, and we've got the never tried. And so I think we should go over this now. There are a couple of these I've never tried. How
I
should we
see.
figure that
Hold on one second. On my screen, I'm seeing high ceiling, high floor, high ceiling, low floor, always mid, low ceiling, low floor. What is this Philly taco?
out?
Oh,
I
that
think-
might be the original.
Yeah, send me
Yeah, I
the
think I
other
should-
one.
Well, I just edited them in the. I edited it on the website, so I don't know if I can send it to you.
Oh, I'll just
But-
look at your screen then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, sorry about that.
Gotta love technology.
All right, so I got a question before we start. How should we handle this? Because there are a bunch of them I've never tried before. So like, does my never tried like pull down their rating on the tier list? Like, say both of you think something's A and I've never had it. Does that put it down to a B? Like, we gotta put the rules out.
I don't think so because it would be 2 against 3 at that point. If like
I know,
if
but if
I
you
if,
average of the three,
I
don't
feel
know.
like
Yeah,
if you've
yeah.
never had something, you can't properly rate it.
that's what I'm saying. That's why
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I feel like
You
you
don't
have
have to be
to give your
scared.
opinion if you've had it.
I don't have to be scared, but I am. Okay.
you can't give an opinion if you haven't had it. That's I agree.
That's why there's a never tried tier. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Right
but
there.
If like some of these I haven't tried, but if you both have tried them and you say that they're A tier or whatever, I'm not going to argue with you.
you argue if the sky's blue, man. That's
Well, sometimes it's gray. Sometimes it can be gray. If it's overcast,
great
it's
today.
gray.
It's
It was great.
today.
What's the weather like in Florida in the summer right now? Is it nice?
You know, it's hot. Last week was hot.
And the
Last week was hot.
too.
I'm sure it's hot today too.
Today was actually not bad. Like this week wasn't too bad. It was like in the 80s.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of cloud cover this week, so that's dropped it like 10 degrees. Yesterday was hot though. Yesterday was really
Yeah.
hot.
Speaking of hot, let's get right into it. So first off, on the tier list, we've got the cheesesteak.
I think
Now-
that's
Now, okay, so this might be a little bit of a hot take. So granted, you've got New York pizza, you've got Southern barbecue, you've got New England clam chowder, right? You got the Philly cheesesteak, right? Like nobody's disputing how it's iconic. The only thing about it is there's only a few spots where you can get a really good cheesesteak.
I feel like they're
So I think that just brings it down to A little bit just because of the debate of who has the best cheesesteak and all that.
it's the Philly thing. The first thing they ask tourists is, "Oh, I'm gonna get a cheesesteak." Like it's what you think of when you get something.
You can, but you
It's
can
like
go
ordering New York
to
pizza. Like
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like,
yeah, but you can get a good slice of New York pizza at a million different spots.
my argument is that the Philly food tier list wouldn't exist if we didn't have the cheesesteak.
I disagree.
See,
You have-
there
I
you go.
disagree.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that. You arguing right now?
No, I'm just
So-
well, it's go ahead.
When I think about the cheesesteak, I think about the cheesesteaks that I've had in the Philadelphia region. So just the general suburbs, Delco, Monco, Chester County, and in the city proper. Most of the cheesesteaks I've had are great. I wouldn't say they're incredible, but I'd say they're great. You know, I've also had a couple bad ones. And I'm not going to rate cheesesteaks from like Wawa or from a little gas station
Charlie's.
or like, you know, some, you know, a place that isn't typically known for cheesesteaks and they just happen to have it. I'm talking about like cheesesteak shops here. Okay. When I think of a cheesesteak, I would say most of them are probably going to go in, for my opinion, around an A tier. Okay. The reason for that is because I like to judge a cheesesteak mostly off the bread. And
Yeah.
I've had a lot of cheesesteaks that have had decent bread. There's only been a few cheesesteak shops where I've had incredible bread. And those cheesesteak shops, like Angelo's, deserve to be in the S tier. But most of
Yes.
the cheesesteak shops, if I'm being honest, they do not belong in the S tier just because they do not bake their own bread and it just simply isn't that great of bread. Okay, sometimes the Amorosa roll can be a little bit more stale depending on how long it's been in the truck. You never know if the guy misses delivery or not. So it also could be hit or miss with the cheese. See, I like a lot of cheese in my cheesesteaks. So there's a lot of places that skimp out on the cheese to save money, and I'm not for that. You know, I think you got to load it up with whatever you're doing, Whiz or Cooper Sharp. I'm a Whiz guy, but if you don't have Whiz, you better have Cooper Sharp.
Well,
So-
I feel that since we're reviewing the foods as the foods themselves and not the places serving them, we should assume that every food on this tier list is at their absolute best. For the
Are we
sake-
doing that?
I feel
Are
like we
we?
should. Like we're not rating Angelo's or Delos Andrews. We're rating the idea of a cheesesteak.
Like this is the like you get the best cheesesteak, you get the best tomato pie, you get the best.
Yeah, I think it should be that way because we're not reviewing specific places. So I feel
I'd
like
still go.
that metric
I'd still go. I'd still go A tier, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes I don't finish the cheesesteak. Sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes I only eat half, and then you save the other half. Okay,
Well,
a
I'm
lot of
also
these
gonna
other
give you
foods.
points for being so big and a lot of food.
Because sometimes I don't like a big portion. You know, I don't want a heavy lunch. I don't want a heavy meal.
So if I take inspiration from Dave Portnoy, one bite and everybody knows the rules. You know, if you take one bite of a cheesesteak from Angelo's, okay, that's an S tier bite.
Yes.
There's no question about it. Yes, it might be 12 inches long. It might be a bit of a BBC, but I mean, it's an S tier bite.
Never heard anyone describe a cheesesteak as BBC. That's a first.
I mean, it's steak, you know, the steak's blackened a little bit. So, you know, the word, you know, kind of
Goodness
goes
gracious.
up with it. Yeah, it's a bit of a good
For
description.
folks at
about it.
home, BBC stands for the British Broadcasting Channel. We are
Yes.
we are of all ages podcast.
Yes. Well, we are. They're kids that watch this.
But I don't know. I think the cheesesteak is the most iconic thing Philly has. I feel like that puts it at S tier. It's the first thing you think of when you think of the city.
I'm just gonna
S
go
tier
A
for me.
because S tier.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys, I'm not gonna argue it too hard. I just if you think S tier, then we can go S tier.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I'm not mad at that. I just feel like, you know what I mean? Like if I go to, you know, I can get a good in New York. Do you guys know the chopped cheese? That's like the rival of. If you go to New York and you go to any bodega, you're gonna get a really good chopped cheese. But like David said, there's only a couple spots where you go and you get like the best cheesesteak. You know, and that's Angelo's, that's John's roast pork, that's you know, those spots.
At its absolute best, the cheesesteak is the most iconic thing of Philadelphia is the first question anyone asks. Anyone who's out of town, the first question they ask is, where are you going for a cheesesteak?
Yeah,
No
don't give me
stuff.
Geno's or Pat's. I mean, those Europeans have got to stop going there.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, they're big fans of Long John Silver's, so
Ew.
That's disgusting.
they like their fried fish with a question mark.
Have you ever seen anybody go into a Long John Silver's?
I went to a Long John Silver's once when I was in second grade, and it actually wasn't that bad.
So you were in second grade.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know,
Sure.
just saying I was there.
Next up, we got one of my favorites, and that's going to be Scrapple. I guess everybody watching knows what Scrapple is. If you're from the Delaware Valley, you know what.
I
you
feel
know
like
what
you should
Scrapple
still
is.
explain that Scrapple is an interesting concept.
It's a pork item. I don't know. I don't know how else you would describe it, but it's like a mashed pork thing. I'm not doing it any justice.
It's really just in the word scrap. It's
Yeah,
literally
it's
different
basically-
scraps of the animal. It's
Yeah, they
random
basically
little
take
bits of meat.
part of the pig that doesn't become like a ham steak, a sausage, or bacon, and they basically just grind it up with some cornmeal, and it becomes this meat obelisk.
That's a
So
good word for
Wikipedia-
it.
Wikipedia describes it as a traditional mush of fried pork scraps and trimmings combined with cornmeal and wheat flour.
I
and
promise
spices.
you, it's better than it sounds. It's really good.
It's delicious, and it's a breakfast staple in the Delaware Valley. I love it.
Mhm.
Uh,
You can't get it
buy
here
it.
in Florida.
You can't get it in Florida.
You can buy it frozen at some farmers markets, but it's not the same. It's really
It's not
grainy.
the same.
It's really grainy down here.
I personally, if it was my biased list, I would put it at S tier, but I'm thinking A.
Yeah, I think I'm flipping with you on the cheesesteak argument. I think Scrapple here is a nice A tier.
Yeah,
anything
based
that-
on based on the Scrapple I've had now, I will say the best Scrapple I had was fried Scrapple bites at a Pennsylvania Dutch restaurant in the middle of Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania. And they had a maple jam dipping sauce. It was like a maple jam with like some bits of tomato puree inside. It was a really good sauce, which is I think is why I like the Scrapple bites. But I never order Scrapple when I go to restaurants, nor would I pick it off a buffet. I think the reason is just because there's a lot more better meats out there that you can choose for breakfast. I'd much rather go for, some turkey bacon or like a nice sausage patty and make a sandwich out of it. But I do think, a lot of people give Scrapple a bad rap just because of what's in it and how disgusting the ingredients sound and probably the process to make it. But it's not as bad as it sounds.
The same idea
Now-
as a hot dog.
Well, actually, I'm not a fan of a hot dog, but that's
I'm not either.
discussion.
Thank you.
Unreal.
That's-
you.
I really despise hot dogs just based
too.
off of the
Have you ever thought
I-
that
I'm
hot
just
dogs
not as-
despise you? You ever thought that?
probably. I mean,
That's
if we're
fine.
talking
That's-
about their
that's fine.
soul, yeah. I don't
I'm a
really
Lizzie
care though. I just
Gladiator.
don't like them.
They're not good. I mean, and you ever see how they're made?
You haven't seen other made. We're talking about Scrapple. It's the same thing.
Look,
no, but
I rate a good Scrapple off. Is it crispy on the outside and does it have a little bit of, mushiness on the inside, kind of like a good French fry? And a lot of the Scrapple I get doesn't have a crisp exterior. But if we're rating the best one I've had, and I'm thinking about the Scrapple bites I had at that Pennsylvania Dutch restaurant, I'll have to look it up. I'd put it at most B tier.
oh, so we got 2 votes for A, 1 vote for B.
All right, what do you guys dip in your Scrapple in though?
Ketchup.
Probably
I'm
just
zero
ketchup.
Just
on
ketchup.
personally.
What do you?
I mean, because it's so salty and savory, I'd want to dip it in ketchup almost like a sausage patty.
I like syrup. Not gonna lie, I like syrup.
That's interesting.
I like the sweet and savory.
I like sausage and syrup.
Yeah, it's
Some
the same
bacon and syrup.
work. I don't think
So are we doing A or B tier?
I feel like
Unfortunately, it's
what else
you
we
two
got
have
on
an
the
A,
list,
right?
I feel like I don't know. I'm looking at everything else we have on the list, and I think Scrapple is a B tier. I'm a big
I
fan.
mean, I'll be honest. I'm
Mhm.
giving it a generous B in my opinion. I mean, you
It's
know,
acquired taste.
look. The more I think about it, the more I think it actually belongs in C for me, just because that jam I had with the Scrapple bites made me think about Scrapple. But all the other Scrapple I've had, it's nothing I've ever reached for. So I'd say the fact that I never reached for it personally, I got to change it to a C.
So do we just want to cut right to the middle? We got to vote for A. We got to vote for B. We got to vote for C. We want to just average it out, put it in the B tier.
I think B tier is valid.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like, and I'm a huge fan of Scrapple, but I'm just seeing what else is on the list, and I'm realizing that if I let everything in A tier, a lot of things are gonna go in A tier, and I
Yeah.
gotta be more objective.
Now, I need to pee.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for
All
sharing
right.
the class.
So I'll be right back.
I'll have to cut that.
Keep it in.
No, we're not keeping. Well, we could.
Oh, come on. Tell me that wouldn't be a funny sound bite.
That kind of would be funny.
Dude, what is a Clover Club? I've never heard of that before.
A Clover Club.
I know we talked about what it is earlier, but like I've never heard of that before.
Well, we still have like 3 other foods
know.
to go
I
over.
figured we were gonna cut this, so
I don't know. You said that we weren't going to cut it.
well, we're not gonna cut the peeing part, but I figured we cut this.
This we don't have to. I mean, yeah, I guess we could, if you wanted to.
It's just us doing the ramblings of a madman while he's peeing.
Yes, but that's just what this is.
Putting the pee in podcast, folks.
Yes.
All right. Another good bowel release.
All right, we're not. Are we cutting? I don't know if we're cutting that or not.
All right,
I'll just let-
all right. I just gotta talk. This is really funny. You you do realize a bowel release means you're pooping, right? You just
Yeah.
pee out of your bowel.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
I was gonna say that's a very quick release.
Although, if you ask me, I've peed out of my bowels quite. If I had that diarrhea parasite going around, wouldn't even notice.
I'm sorry.
goodness.
I made a landing in the splash zone.
Goodness gracious.
Come on, Dave. We're having fun here.
Yeah, we are having fun. We're having a great time.
All right, up next, Citywide.
Citywide. For those of you that don't know, because I didn't really know what this was, but it is a beer and shot combo of a PBR, a Pat's Blue Ribbon, and a shot of Jim Beam. Apparently, it's local to Philadelphia. I didn't know a beer and a shot was local to Philadelphia. I haven't had PBR ever, but I have had Jim Beam. I don't mind Jim Beam.
A Citywide just basically sounds like a Boilermaker with rules.
Yeah, it's like a blue collar thing.
I've
Just-
never had it.
So let me get this straight. Does it have to be Jim Beam and PBR?
Yes.
Yes, I believe. Yes.
And does it have to be mixed together or one after the other?
One after the other.
With like a Boilermaker, they do that thing where
Okay.
like you drop the shot into the drink.
That's
know.
not what this is.
Well, I've never had it.
I'm just saying that's not what it is. I did my homework, and that's not what this is.
Okay, well, it sounds stupid.
Well, no. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever had this. I mean, I can probably say I've had a beer and a whiskey one after the other, but I don't think a Jim Beam and a PBR specifically, especially since I do not like PBR.
I've never had it. I don't want to really have it. To me, it sounds like a Coors Light. The way people
That's-
describe it.
I'm
that-
saying I had to Google what this is. I really wouldn't call this an iconic Philly thing.
So we can put never tried. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
because I've never tried PBR and I've never tried PBR with Jim Beam.
If I'm imagining what that would taste like, though, I would imagine that probably just being an F for me.
Dave, Jack's probably gonna punch me for this take, my brother, but PBR kind of tastes like if you were drinking a Coors Light and someone farted in it.
Yeah, there's
That's a
a lot
pretty,
better.
yeah, that's pretty accurate.
So we never tried that. That's okay. It just
That
sounds like
just
something
sounds
that
like,
you would like.
yeah, it just sounds like some fucking, I don't know, trash from Delco.
It sounds like something you would drink after you do, like, yeah, like a Delco dad, like that just did 14 hours at the
some,
construction site.
yeah,
Yeah,
some
you spent 48
abusive
hours
father
at the
trying
mall.
to get you to drink something and get drunk with him while he's alone at the bar.
It's
Yeah.
definitely got to be a holdover from like the coal miners. Like that's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe someone that just wants to black out and yeah, I don't know. I don't know why
Yeah.
somebody would ever want to drink that.
Yeah, me either,
It
honestly.
just gives me a headache thinking about it.
All right, we are on to the roast pork.
Pork.
Fantastic sandwich, by the way. Typically, including obviously roast pork. I'm partial to the provolone on it, and then this thing called broccoli rabe. If you've ever picked out broccoli like fresh at a farmer's market, it's those leaves at the bottom. It adds some nice bitterness and breaks up the fat of the pork. I think it's an essential part of the sandwich.
Yeah, I normally don't get mine with broccoli rabe. I just get it plain, but
Okay.
I love a good roast pork sandwich.
For me, I think it's an A tier. I think you can't go wrong with a roast pork sandwich.
Yeah, when you add broccoli rabe and provolone to a nice, now I like a pork cutlet in my roast pork sandwich.
That's a good one.
I prefer pork cutlets. Now if you give me a chicken cutlet, I'll take that over a pork cutlet, but yeah, I would put that in an S tier because I've been to John's Roast Pork. John's Roast Pork is an incredible sandwich.
So we're going, we have 2 votes for A, 1 for S.
Yeah, what's your vote? You're the tiebreaker.
I'd go A tier personally, just because, like, if you have an option, like at a sandwich shop between a cheesesteak, a roast pork, or like an Italian hoagie, which we'll get to in a second, I'm probably choosing the hoagie or the cheesesteak.
That's a fair
You know,
conclusion.
It's not really, yeah, it is a good choice, but it's just not usually not one my first. So I would go A tier personally.
Like I think it's A tier, like right behind the cheesesteak. Like it's close.
That's
Yeah,
a fair point.
It's like an A plus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've only ever had a roast pork sandwich from John's Roast Pork, so my opinion on that is
Yeah.
extremely high. But
Yeah.
the only other roast pork sandwiches I've ever had in my life have been at cookouts, where someone just buys a whole hog and roasts it, and then you add your accoutrements in, usually not provolone and broccoli rabe. So, I'm just basing it off that one time, and that one time was incredible. But I think rightfully so, it should be an A. It's not better than a cheesesteak, no doubt.
Yeah. I think that's a good spot. All right. Next up we got the Schmitter.
I'm gonna look this up to see if I've had this.
I don't think
I'm-
I have never had a Schmitter.
I may have had it on accident. Oh my God, it was invented at McNally's Tavern in Chestnut Hill. I didn't know that. Okay, so it's roast beef, American cheese, fried onions, tomato, salami, and a Thousand Island on a Kaiser roll.
Oh, so I actually
Don't.
have had that before.
It sounds like something I've probably had before, but I just don't remember.
I think from when I've had it, again, very good sandwich. I don't think it's better than the roast pork or the cheesesteak.
I don't have an opinion. I haven't tried it.
I've had different versions of this sandwich, not exactly with everything that's supposed to be in it, but I've had enough sandwiches that are pretty close to this. So I think I can give a rightful opinion here. I would probably put this at a C tier sandwich. But then again, I haven't had the exact ingredients, so I'm not sure if you guys would like to count my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not really going to argue you. I was going to say like B tier below Scrapple, but my feelings won't be hurt at all with the C tier. I mean, it's a sandwich. I really don't think it's good, but I don't think it's like anything special.
Yeah. Personally, I put it above Scrapple, but that's just me. I mean, I'd say this is probably a C plus from the sound of it, and then Scrapple would definitely be under it in the C category, but I think C is probably justified.
All right.
I'm happy with that.
We got the Clover Club next.
Clover Club. That is
Never had it.
Never had it either.
It is a cocktail with gin, raspberry syrup, and egg white, a little bit of lemon juice. So it almost tastes like a whiskey. It's almost like a raspberry whiskey sour.
It's not a Shirley
I guess.
Temple in it, right?
No. It's raspberry
Okay.
syrup, gin, lemon juice, garnished it with. I've never had it.
Dave, you want me to try to phone a friend? You know, my brother Jack's kind of a fan of these drinks. You want me to call him, see if he's ever had one?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let me see. Let me see if he answers. It's a Friday night in New York, so I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't.
Maybe he's having a Clover Club right now.
Yeah, maybe he's bringing it.
I don't know. I haven't had it. It sounds like a decent drink. Like if I saw it at a bar and that was their specialty drink, I'd probably get it. But I've never had it.
It's raining.
Doesn't sound half bad.
Hey, I got
Doesn't
a
sound bad.
question for you. I'm filming the pod with Dave right now. And we are doing a Philly tier list of like foods and drinks iconic in Philly. Yeah, you are on the record. Are you okay with that? Have you ever had the Clover Club before? It is a drink.
It sounds familiar.
It's
I don't think-
gin and like raspberry syrup.
Oh, no.
Okay, you never had it? Okay, I figured I was trying to phone a friend. None of us have ever had it before. You're the only guy who I would think would have had this before.
Fucking person, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, I figured this seems right up your alley. I don't think it seems that different from like a Cosmo or anything.
It's thinking like maybe like something like a Jim Beam apple with like the sour apple like pucker liqueur.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, because it's like we looked up the recipe. It's like 2 ounces of gin, like 1.5 ounces of like raspberry syrup. Yeah, it's a gin cocktail.
No, if I'm drinking gin, it's a martini.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'll let you go. I know it's a Friday in New York and you've probably got plans, but I just figured asking you a quick question. All right. See you, man.
Oh,
Yeah, even
Jack.
Jack, you know, who's tried every drink ever in a bar, has never had this.
So we've never tried it.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
He hadn't
originated-
and I mean,
It
he likes to go to bars and order like the thing farthest down on the menu. Like I think he's tried every drink combo ever, and he's never even heard of this one.
It's a pre-prohibition.
Oh wow!
Beverage.
Yeah, we're talking like 1910s.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, that's way out of our generation.
About 90 years. Yeah.
Right, next up, I think I know where this is going to go, and I'm absolutely happy with it. We got the soft pretzel, folks.
I think
Folks-
it's my favorite thing in Philadelphia.
There's no question about it. There's nothing better than a fresh soft pretzel. We used to melt the cheese on them at lunch. Like you used to get a slice of cheese melted over, but
I
even
like
just
to
by
put the spicy
themselves,
brown mustard on it.
yeah. It's to me, it's an S tier.
I would put it highest on this tier list if it were up to me.
Now, are we talking just a soft pretzel? No cheese, no mustard,
Well, I feel like
just the
that goes
pretzel?
part with it. Like if we're counting like what cheeses you can put on a roast pork or a cheesesteak, I feel like we should count what condiment you can put on a soft pretzel.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with me. I don't like a plain soft pretzel. Now I do like plain pretzel sticks. It's just a texture thing, but I don't like a plain soft pretzel, and I think it's just too dry, and I think it just needs something to try and get a little bit more flavor. So if you give me some mustard and cheese, I'm thinking about the best soft pretzel I've ever had. I'd put it in probably an A tier. I'm thinking about a soft pretzel where I go right up to the counter at the Philly soft pretzel factory and I say, "Give me your best soft pretzel and give me a side of some nice cheese and maybe a little mustard." That's an A tier bite, but no higher.
I think a Wawa soft pretzel is really good, and that's one of the few things when Wawa came down to Florida, the pretzels are just as good as they were back
Yeah.
home. So that's one of the few things I can still easily get my fill of down here. And I love a soft pretzel. Like I could eat one every day of my life and never get tired of it.
I just think it's delicious when it's like hot and fresh. It's iconic.
Even
There's
if it's room
sometimes
temp, it's still great.
even at room temp. I think it's S tier personally.
I think it's my favorite thing on this entire tier list.
Wow. I
Like,
completely cannot
I'm a
I
bigger
cannot
soft
disagree
pretzel
more with
fan
that,
than
but I
fan.
would put it in A. But you guys say an S tier, so I think it has to go there then, right?
Well, we won't put it over the
Well,
cheese.
yeah, but also I don't want it to be, like a thing where like every vote gets overpowered. Like I can completely understand your argument too.
Yeah.
Like I'm willing to compromise. I'm just saying if I were doing this list by myself, the soft pretzel would be the highest.
Gotcha.
I'd put it in S tier personally.
But I can definitely understand the argument for A tier. I can
And
definitely
also, are we counting like our budget into this? Because if we're talking budget wise, this is like the cheapest lunch you can get.
75 cents.
Yeah,
It's one of the
like
few
it's
things
just,
for a dollar.
yeah. I think S tier is fair.
Yeah.
Next
I
up, we
will
got
stand my ground on the soft pretzel. I'm ready to fight for it for hours.
the combo. I'm not quite sure what that is.
I'm Google.
Yeah. What is that? I mean, a combo can be anything.
Yeah, it could be. I looked it up and it said it was a cheesesteak and fries, but that doesn't look like a cheesesteak and fries. And I don't know why they would have that on the list if they already have a
It
cheesesteak.
looks like a
on the list.
hoagie and chips.
It's really hard to Google too because there are thousands of combos out there.
Yeah, well, let's just throw this in never tried and then just forget about it. Forget it ever happened.
It kind of looks like it's supposed to be like a Primanti Brothers, where it's like it's a sandwich. Like it could be like it almost looks like it can be any kind. Like I'm seeing examples of like roast pork and a cheesesteak, and you just put French fries or potato chips in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. Never tried. Next up, we got Stromboli.
Yeah, this one originated in I think the Burbs.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think in
What-
Delco.
What are we thinking of Stromboli? For the folks at home, if you've never had a Stromboli, it is basically all intents and purposes a pizza just folded over. Now
I'll
that's
be
not
honest.
always what it is. Like sometimes it comes in a thing and everything, but that's the general idea of it.
I'd say it's more like a hot pocket pizza.
It's like a pizza burrito.
That's fair.
Yeah. Except
it's-
most people eat it with a fork and knife, but yeah,
Oh, yeah,
burrito
you
sounds
can.
pretty
Yeah.
accurate.
Well, most
Yeah,
of the
that-
burritos you eat with a fork and knife.
That's fair. I don't know. I don't know where to put this because first of all, I don't think I've ever finished a Stromboli in one sitting.
Well, yeah, they're huge. It's like an entire pizza.
So that to me,
They're
Does
like
docket
12
some-
to 18 inches.
I didn't know it was. I didn't know you couldn't only like. I thought Stromboli was everywhere.
I mean, everywhere I've been, there have been Strombolis. Like I've been to Pittsburgh, I've been to New York, pretty much every spot in Florida. I've never seen a pizza place that didn't have Stromboli on the menu.
I didn't know it originated here. Well, not you know what I mean.
It makes sense that it did, though. I mean, they're huge in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
The only Strombolis I've ever had have been in the Philly region, and almost all the Strombolis I've ever had have been incredible. And I wouldn't say they're better than a pizza, just because there's so much going on in one bite in a Stromboli, in my opinion. You load that up with cheese, sauce, toppings. Most of the time, a lot of the toppings in Stromboli can cover any or mask any flavors that might be off in the cheese or the sauce or the bread. So I'd put it under a pizza definitely, but at least the Strombolis I've had, the best one I'm thinking about, I'd have to put it in an A tier because if you put a Stromboli and a John's roast pork sandwich next to me, I mean, I'd probably pick a Stromboli over that John's roast pork sandwich just because I love the combination of tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and bread. I think that would win it for me.
Yeah, I'm in it with you. I'm a massive Stromboli fan. I think it is absolutely A tier at the lowest.
I think A tier is valid.
So we
We put it.
I think for me personally, it's above a roast pork sandwich. Stromboli is one of my favorite things to get on the boardwalk. Back when I was growing up, I still order them down here pretty regularly. Like I love a Stromboli.
Yeah, I think A tier. I think the top of A tier is completely valid. And I'm pretty sure that's the only one that we've agreed on, like, fully. Like, that's the only,
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And we're all like, yeah, Stromboli's good. It's not a pizza, but damn.
Yeah, pretty much the A tier we've agreed on. We didn't disagree that much on the roast pork from what I remember.
Yeah. All right, next up, we got an infamous ballpark classic, crab fries. I love crab fries personally. I think there's a line. There's always a long line at the Phillies games at Chicky and Pete's, and there's a reason for that. When they're hot, when you got the cheese to dip them in, there's no better ballpark snack.
For the folks at home, if you've never heard of crab fries before, they are crinkle cut fries, tossed in Old Bay seasoning with a side of American cheese dip. They're a classic.
Dave, how do you feel?
Yes. I mean, I've only had crab fries from Chicky and Pete's. So
Yeah.
75% of them have been at the ballpark or Sixers, Flyers, Eagles game. So a lot of the times, the crab fries I get, the quality of the actual fry and the potato are pretty shit. And sometimes it's been a little cold and stale. However, I'm one who loves Old Bay. I love the seasoning. I love when you get a nice fry and it's crispy on the outside, and nice and mushy on the inside. Usually what I do is when I get crab fries, I steal a cup or two of cheese, and then I usually take like 6 or 7. I didn't mean to do that on purpose.
Oh, come on.
Like 8, we'll just say 8. Okay, maybe 8, maybe 9 crab fries in one hand and just dip them all in the cheese and then just put it in like a nice little cyclops going in your mouth. And to be honest, I do crave that. And it's really hard to not put it at an S tier. And I feel like when Chicky and Pete's is on their game, there's nothing better.
If you want a restaurant with good crab fries, PJ Wellhands. If you still
Yeah, dude, I
Still
know I've been to
Pennsylvania.
PJ's a lot. I've just never had their crab fries.
They're good. They're good. They're definitely more consistent than the ballpark, but that makes sense because it's a restaurant, not a ballpark.
But if you go to an
You
actual,
have people
if you,
in line.
if you go to an actual Chicky and Pete's, I mean, they're going to be crispy on the outside, mushy on the inside.
yeah. Like that's the thing. Like they're going to be much more consistent in an actual restaurant location than the one at the ballpark. But I mean,
And remember, we're
don't come
we're
with a-
talking about, we are talking about these
at
when
their
they're at
peak.
their best. Yeah.
At their peak, I feel like, in my opinion, they'd be A tier below the Stromboli.
I would go S tier. It's
Hey, I
like,
mean, they've got a good argument. Like if you guys both think they're S, I'm gonna let you have it because I mean crab fries are a very, very good staple of the Philly.
like when I come,
Yeah, I was
When I
just
come
gonna
back
say it's
home-
easily an
Yeah, go ahead.
S. No, I was just gonna say it's easily an S in a restaurant. I think just when you're preparing it properly, I think there's no doubt about it.
And my long gone Goodnight Irene's in Wildwood has some fantastic ones too. They were the best.
Shout out to
The
shout out
best
to
crab.
Goodnight Irene's.
They did it better than Chicky and Pete's, if I'm being honest.
Goodnight Irene's was the spot in Wildwood, man.
$5 Blue Moons. I'll never forget you.
Good times. Good times.
Now it's replaced by those bars where you got to buy a $14 draft beer that you can't pronounce.
And it's an IPA that tastes like cat piss.
Mhm. Say more like sour cream or something.
Now, where are we putting crab fries in the S tier? Are we putting them over a soft pretzel? Are we putting
I'd
them over?
say above the soft pretzel.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
I think a soft pretzel is better than crab fries.
I don't know. Dude, crab fries when they're nice and hot.
Listen, I'm
I
already
got the right-
compromising putting it above the Stromboli.
Here's my
Okay.
reasoning. So we can keep it below soft pretzel if you guys overrule me, but I like a potato over something doughy or made of flour. And then I like Old Bay seasoning over just salt on the pretzel. And then I do like Cheese Whiz over most cheese sauces I dip my soft pretzel in. So on all three of those levels, crab fries beat them for me.
Listen, I think you guys have a great argument, and I don't want to be a buzzkill. So if you guys really feel like it's above the soft pretzel, you can put it there, but it's going to break my heart. But I won't fight you on it.
Why don't we come back to it? Because I'm a little torn, honestly.
We could probably do, like a final review before we
Yeah.
go into a final order.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, next up, we got Tasty Cake.
Classic.
Classic.
Philly staple.
What's your
Yeah, the-
go-to tasty cake? What's your favorite?
Oh,
one?
gotta be the crimpets with the jelly filling.
Really?
Or you know what my go-to tasty cake are? Those little pies, those little rectangle pies.
Oh,
That you get from Wawa.
pies?
Yeah.
Dude,
like
are those
fruit
the
pies.
ones that are like filled
These are
with a bunch
good.
of fruit?
They sell
like,
them down here, Dave. If you
Yes.
What are those called? Dude, I used to be addicted to those.
they just call them the fruit pies.
And they're only like $1 a piece.
Yeah, they're like $1.25, and they're like the
Yeah.
size of like a Nerf football. Like they're
Dude,
pretty
we-
big.
Like
Dude,
we used
when
to
I
do,
was-
like-
Dude, when I was younger, I don't even want to say what I would do to those. I mean, I loved them.
You guys ever had a chocolate junior?
Voted.
I don't know.
A chocolate junior is basically like a slice of yellow cake. So it's got like the chocolate filling in the middle and like the chocolate icing over the yellow cake. But
Yep.
that thing is, I'm telling you, like huge. Like it's like if someone cut you like a fourth of a cake. I think that's the best tasty cake. If I'm gonna go and eat unhealthy and go and get a tasty cake, I might as well go all out. And I'm going with the chocolate junior.
So
Now,
So how are we rating this tasty cake? Are we rating it off a basic crimpet, or because I feel like it's unfair to rate it between like a what did you call it, a Carl Jr.
A chocolate junior.
Chocolate Jr. I feel like it's unfair to compare fruit pies, chocolate juniors, and basic
But
crimpets.
I feel like
So
they're all a tasty cake, so they should all be taken into account.
we could do a tier list just on tasty cakes.
Yeah, I mean they're
yeah,
like
honestly,
they're like
I
30
could.
different types.
Yeah, I got some
So-
bold takes on those, but yeah.
Do we go S tier?
I feel like they're an A. I feel like they're an A. I don't, and my only reasoning is I don't think that I can put a dessert in S tier. I'm not a big
That's
dessert
interesting.
guy.
I could easily
you're-
put a dessert in S tier, but I cannot put my favorite tasty cake, which is a fruit. What do you call it? Fruit bar?
It's just a fruit pie.
The fruit pies.
Fruit
the
pie.
pies.
Fruit pie. You know, those fruit pies, they're nostalgic for me, but I
And
feel
the
like at the end of the
icing.
day,
The icing on the outside. What a
dude,
treat.
the icing was that just brought it over the top.
Oh, I get them without the icing. I get like the cherry one without the icing. To me, it was
Oh,
just a
dude.
fruit pie.
How do you do such?
So much better with the icing.
How do you purchase one without the icing?
You There's ones without the icing. Like you're thinking, there's like one with icing. I thought there's like
Well,
a French apple
Benjamin's has
pie.
icing too, but every time I've gotten a Tasty Cake fruit pie from my Wawa down the street, it's always had icing.
Really, dude. Dude.
So-
I'm
Yeah,
Maybe
it
they're
de-
looking
it
at
depends
this
on
in the flavor icing. Maybe they're hiding it underground.
It depends on the flavor. I'd put a fruit pie. Man, just looking
I
at our
think
list, I think Luke, you have a point about the dessert thing, but I feel like, looking at our list, just making sense of what's on the board, it's got to be a B.
I think I'd put it A tier, below the roast pork.
I am happy with B, and I'll tell you why. I think when you're eating a tasty cake, it's fantastic in the moment. You feel amazing. Afterwards, you feel like Anakin in the prequels. You're like, what have I done?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I was talking about the chocolate junior earlier. That thing's like 600 calories.
Yeah. So I think
That's
that
probably
like
more calories than your average order of crab fries. And it's like it's like a piece of chocolate cake.
I'm happy with B tier, and I'll even put it over Scrapple, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
think it's
put it
above
over Scrapple.
I think
Easily.
I think it's definitely above Scrapple.
Yeah, I'm happy with B tier. For it to be A tier, I mean, like, yeah, you can't really put it over like actual dessert. You know what I mean? Like,
Tasty cakes are so iconic.
yeah,
I was letting like the brand and like the recognizability is that a word? If it isn't, I made it one. Like
recognition.
how recognizable they are. I wanted to put it in A, but it's like, yeah, like I don't think I'd pick a tasty cake over anything we have in the S or A tier.
Yeah, I agree.
It's easily one of the best things you can quickly just shove in your mouth on the go, but it's nothing special.
It's a great road trip snack, that's for sure.
For sure. Definitely.
I don't think you
Right,
should
next-
leave, if it's your first experience in Wawa, I don't think you should leave without a tasty cake.
Dude, I might go to Wawa
Definitely a fruit
after
pie.
this. I might
That's
go
good.
after
I
this.
haven't had a fruit pie in like 5 years, and you guys are making me
I
want
might get one
right
tomorrow. It's Hoagie Fest right now.
It is hoagie fat. Dude, I might go to Wawa and get a soft pretzel and a tasty cake, like
Dude,
just for the
soft pretzel
just for the
at Wawa.
nostalgia.
The 2-pack for $1.30 of soft pretzels, and they're pretty big. They're pretty big soft pretzels. I feel like that's the best deal at Wawa.
You know what's good at Wawa? The egg rolls. I don't know what it is about the egg rolls at Wawa. Dude, I don't know what
Dude, I
they're
had an
doing,
egg roll from there, and I was not a fan.
but wow. Maybe it's just me.
I don't know if I had a bad batch,
Hey,
but
you know what,
I just
dude?
didn't like it.
There's got to be a reason they keep the egg rolls there. If they make you happy, hey man, like food is subjective. I'm not going to tease you for liking egg rolls.
You got to get them when they're hot, though. I do agree. Like you probably had them when they were sitting under the fryer or that heat lamp.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
everything's always sitting under there under the heat lamp.
Yeah, but you got to get them like right when they put them out. When
You ever
do
had the
that.
stuffed pretzels at Wawa?
Oh my gosh, the
Stuffed
cream
pretzel,
cheese stuffed
jalapeno
pretzel.
cheese.
The cream cheese one? Are you kidding me?
The jalapeno cheese is the best one.
That's a good one too.
I just like a regular cheese. I mean, dude, it's incredible. That
They have the
That,
cheddar.
that's what I was thinking about when we were rating our soft pretzels.
I feel like that counts. I feel like a stuffed pretzel counts. It's soft.
Dude,
it's a
so
pretzel.
good. It's so good.
If it's at Wawa, it counts.
I agree.
Back
Next
in
up,
back in high school when I did mischievous activities, the cheddar soft pretzel at Wawa was my go-to. That's a
It's good. They're all good.
all great. Next up, we got the Irish potato.
It feels like sacrilege as an Irish kid who grew up in Philadelphia. Never had one. Never had one.
They're not
It's named
Irish.
after me. It's named
For
after
those of you that don't know, it is a coconut cream, pretty much wrapped in like a cinnamon outer. I believe. I don't know if they're deep fried. I'm not sure. I just know when you go to like the Fudge Kitchen, like in Wildwood, they always have Irish potatoes. But I've
I
never had
haven't
it.
had one in a long time.
never had.
I don't think I could give a proper review of it just because it's been so long.
Never tried. Never tried. Shout out to Irish
It
potatoes.
sounds really good though.
Yeah, like I would order 'em. I would order them now.
I'm
Like
not
when
a
I go back to coconuts, yeah, it's an acquired taste.
I love coconut water, but I don't like eating coconut.
Understandable.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, the Texas Tom.
Yeah, next up we got the Texas Tommy. For the
What is
fo-
that?
just
It is a hot dog served on a toasted hot dog bun, wrapped in whatever cheese you want. Usually it's cheddar, and bacon.
which I didn't know originated in Pottstown.
Yeah. I think the Texas Tommy is fantastic.
I've never had it. I'm not a hot dog guy, so I probably never will. Hot dogs are disgusting.
Listen out.
I do not eat hot dogs either, so I can't give a rating.
I think it's very, very good B tier. I think it's right between Tasty Cake and Scrapple, if I were to give my opinion.
But we both don't like hot dogs. So what about the end of B? Because I don't even like putting a hot dog in B tier.
Well, I'd even put it at C. At that rates.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say is I'm just glad I'm not getting overpowered and having it put in like D tier.
That's,
I
yeah, yeah, because
Service to the Texas Tommy.
that's fair.
If you
Alright.
if you want to meet the world's biggest Texas Tommy fan, talk to my dad. Big Texas Tommy guy.
Dude, shout out to Luke's dad. Luke's dad has like a story for every Philadelphia athlete. Like he's right into every Philadelphia athlete and just has a story about him. Like
Yeah.
if you ever mention like a former like Philadelphia athlete from like the 70s or 80s, he'll just have a story for him. Like Lenny Dykstra. Yeah. Lenny Dykstra.
Mm-hmm. Buddy Ryan. He's a coach, but
Yeah.
still standing.
All right, next up, we got my personal favorite on this list, and that's going to be the Italian hoagie.
It's a good choice for your favorite.
And if we're talking them at its peak, there's nothing better than an Italian hoagie with fresh bread, that seeded roll. You get the hot salami, you get all the good, delicious stuff on there. The fruits and veggies are bussing.
If you want my opinion on the best Italian hoagie I've ever had, Giovanni's in Sea Isle.
Giovanni's
Interesting. I've
and
never
shit.
heard of them.
Giovanni's.
Never heard.
You should look at them. They have the perfect ratio of fitting like the meat and the cheese and everything perfectly in that there is no gaps or like air bubbles anywhere in it. Like it is like it looks like a machine made it. They make them so neat and tucked in. You get a bite of everything in every bite. Giovanni's and Sea Isle would be my plug for the best place to get an Italian hoagie.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about the bread at the end of the day, but you know,
Yeah.
if you get a good
They
good
have
roll,
the seeded Italian rolls. Oh man. Ooh.
if you get a good roll, homemade, nice and fresh, right off the right out of the oven, I mean, it's probably going to be an S tier.
Yeah, I would put it. I'd put it S tier, in my opinion, right between the soft pretzel and the crab fries. Like I think it's above crab fries. I would still put it below the soft pretzel.
I would put it over the soft pretzel.
Well, I mean, it's your favorite, so I mean, I'll let you have it, dude. You let us put the cheesesteak in S. If you want to put it up there, I'll let you have it. I won't
David,
argue.
can you sleep at night with an Italian hoagie over the soft pretzel?
Can you
I mean, with so much going on in an Italian hoagie, I can because it's got so much better flavoring than a soft pretzel and crab fries. I mean, I'm a big sopressata guy, so I can't go wrong with it.
I think the best Italian hoagie I've ever had was Russo's in Wildwood.
Russo's is a very good one too.
Russo's is pretty good.
If Giovanni's is an S tier Italian sandwich, I would put Russo's like right below it, like top of A.
Shout out to Russo's.
Russo's has an amazing turkey hoagie too. Big fan.
They have a really good cheesesteak.
Oh yeah, we had it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, good stuff.
And they make you like a huge like 24-inch hoagie. Like,
Oh yeah, they make the
party style.
big hoagies. Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Russo's.
Fantastic place.
All right, next up we got the party staple. If you ever have a graduation party, a birthday party, any sort of party, homecoming, any sort of party in the Delaware Valley, tomato pie is going to be there, and that's what our next food is.
All right, now I got a question for you guys. Are you a hot tomato pie fan or a cold tomato pie fan?
I'm about to get cold, ice cold.
I think it. Yeah, I'm a cold fan of it.
If you warm up a tomato pie, that is a violation, and there's something wrong with you. You need to be jailed. It is meant to be eaten nice and cold.
For the folks
I-
at home, a tomato pie.
And I will, and I'm
Sounds
sorry,
good.
I'll go on the record and say I've had frozen tomato pie, like almost out of the freezer, and I do not mind.
For the folks at home, a tomato pie. It's not going to sound that good the way we describe it, but it is basically a pizza served cold without cheese. On a
And
real
and
to
it's-
me, yeah, to me, it's all about the sauce. You know,
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
a nice,
you get a
and
way better
nice-
sauce
yeah,
on a tomato pie than you would on your average pizza.
and it's much more sweet on a tomato pie if you have a good one. In my opinion, it's got to have a little bit more sweetness.
And a
Um,
good ratio of olive oil on there.
Yeah, you got to dollop the olive oil, and I'll be honest, I know my family and I will dollop more olive oil, and we'll sprinkle some Parmesan on our tomato pie as well, even though it doesn't come with it.
I don't think that's
Um,
sacrilegious.
I don't think it is at all.
I mean, the Parmesan and olive oil, you know, we like to put a lot of extra on, and it just brings out the flavors so much more.
So where you
I'll
guys
go.
facing that?
I mean, dude,
Well-
it's the party staple.
I think it's a top of B. I think it's above Tasty Cake, top of B.
I
You're
was
just-
gonna
Oh,
go ahead,
on.
Dave.
Go on. No, I was just gonna say I'll speak for the people. You know, whenever my family's brought a tomato pie to a party, everyone's jumped out of their seats and had a big smile on their face when they saw us bringing in this big ass square of God knows what's inside, and
That's the other
everyone
thing,
just
these
gets
things are-
excited when they open up and they
story.
smell a little sugar, tomato sauce, and they see us dollop some extra olive oil and Parmesan. I mean, it is an absolute party staple, and you cannot go wrong with it. However, I will say I've had tomato pie from two places in my life. Corpalese, and I don't even know what the other one was because, well, that's because that's how it tasted. But you got to get your tomato pie at Corpalese. They have the
Yeah.
best tomato pie I've
Mhm.
ever had. It is
I think everyone on the planet
absolutely
gets it from there.
incredible.
Shout out to Corpalese.
They are easily an S tier in my book, and
I agree.
stay in business forever.
Really?
I agree. I think S tier just because of I'm even going off of just nostalgia, but just it's the perfect party item. And it always has been and it always will be.
All right, so here's just my concern though. We're looking at this tier list, right? Your average tier list should have a bell curve. Do we really want the most things in S tier? Like S tier is like the best of the best.
I think it has to be above Stromboli and a roast pork to me.
I would disagree. I don't think it's above a Stromboli.
I think it's above a Stromboli just because of convenience. It's easier for me to eat two slices of tomato pie than it is for me to eat a whole Stromboli.
Yeah, when I think
But
about this, I
Stromboli
think about
usually, Stromboli served in a big quantity. Like usually you cut it up with a pizza cutter and have like a piece of it.
when I think about something I eat, when I go back to Philly, you know, I'll have a tomato pie more often than a Stromboli and a roast pork sandwich, which is why I think it goes above it. But you know, that's just my subjective opinion. I know you were talking about the bell curve, but you know,
Oh.
I wouldn't put a soft pretzel in S tier. So I would say, you know, for me,
All right,
the tomato pie is even better than that.
Do we want to compromise top of A?
I'll live with that. Nah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'd say it's easily S tier for me personally.
I mean,
There's nothing
Dude,
like
I
it
have it-
either. You
have
can't
it
go
B.
anywhere else and get
I love
tomato pie. You can't,
and I have it B tier.
but you can't get it anywhere else.
I mean, if
There's
you
like
have
no-
it in B tier, it's got to be the top of the A then.
Because I was gonna put it above Tasty Cake at top of B.
I
Yeah,
can't
mean,
let
I'd
it go
say-
as low as B tier.
That's what I'm saying. We
Just-
compromise top of A tier.
It's got to be
That
top of
works.
A then.
That works for me. Works for me. Next up, we got peanut chews.
Ooh,
Oh, I got a bold take
Icon-
on this one.
Iconic
Ooh,
candy.
go
I
for it.
mean,
Steve, have you gone over
look.
your bold take on food yet?
That was the cheesesteak take.
No. I don't think that's that bold. I don't think what you said was super bold. I thought
Yeah,
it was pretty reasonable. I didn't entirely disagree with you.
So when I
don't
look at
know.
a peanut chew, I look at this as one of the worst candies that you can have, and I'm not even a candy fan. I think peanut chews are way too chewy. I don't think there's enough peanuts, which I love peanuts. And whenever I bite into a candy, I want something that's giving me a lot of chocolate, and I feel like it's just not enough. The fact that the peanut chew gets stuck in my teeth is really turning me off to this candy. I cannot rate it higher than a D.
All right, so here's my take. I think I love peanut chews. I think they're a classic. I mean, they're so Philly that pretty much in Florida you can only buy them at Wawa. That's really the only place that sells peanut chews. They're that Philly. But on the other hand, there are candies that I very comfortably and very often pick over peanut chews, despite how much I like them. And again, I think it's a dessert. It's really hard for me to rank a dessert high. I would put peanut chews above the Schmitty in the C tier.
I'd probably either go. I mean, I don't hate them as passionately as David does,
I
but
don't think anything he said is like a bad take. Like I feel like a peanut chew is a very divisive thing.
something has to go into D tier.
I know. I don't think it's the peanut chew. I think the peanut chew deserves a little better than that. I mean, we have the Schmitty in C tier, and none of us have ever technically had one.
I bet if we had a Schmitty, though, maybe we would bump it up to B, though. That's just at least
Probably
me.
would. Next time I'm back home,
I'm going to look for a Schmitter to do a video on.
I feel like the peanut chew, I feel like it deserves more respect than D tier.
I'll be honest, I haven't had enough of them to even give a proper rating. I've had them, but it's been so long. I don't know.
You're the
Put a-
tiebreaker here.
Let's
You're-
go. Something has to go into D tier. It could be peanut chews. Well, if I'm gonna pick anything on this list, the last thing that I'm picking is probably going to be a peanut chew. Like I would take
And that
I would take-
rightfully deserves a D then if it's the last thing on your list. That's just me.
I think so. I think something has to go into D tier. It's just a candy,
I tried
it's-
to save you, Dave. Michael McClatchy is coming for you for your
That's
slander,
fine.
not chew.
That's fine.
I tried to save you. I tried to be a good friend.
He's going to be mad, but I'll explain it to him.
Gave you for Ron Jaworski. I don't think he'll forgive this.
Did he forgive me for Ron Jaworski? Because I thought he there's nobody he hated more than Ron Jaworski.
I know, but he forgave you for that. But I think the peanut chew is where the line is.
Shout out to Jaws.
No, don't shout out to Jaws.
Next up, we got water ice.
Now, are we
Iconic.
basing it just off the water ice, or are we talking with a little custard, or maybe
feel like it's
mixed
gotta be
together with
just
some
a covered-
custard?
When you put custard, it's a gelato, and that's a totally different thing.
Yeah, I don't know if we're doing gelati. I think we're just doing straight water ice. You get a cup of water ice. That's it.
I've got a hot take. I know it's iconic. I think water ice is a C tier. It's a smoother experience than a snow cone, and that's it. It's good, but I can't put water ice above C tier.
I'll live with that. I'll live with that.
How about you, Dave? What do you think?
Look, I don't go looking for water ice. I just had Polish water ice for the first time in about 10 years. It's not better than Rita's, but when I think of a Rita's water ice, I used to have that a lot when I was in elementary school, but ever since, middle school, high school started, I started switching sides to ice cream. I'd go to Dairy Queen more often, or maybe hit up the local Mary Mead farm just because I thought ice cream tasted so much better, and it does.
Here's the thing about
As I got older, I just started to realize water ice, if you're not having a high quality water ice, just pumped full of artificial flavor and color, or if it's just not smooth ice, it's not something enjoyable. But when I think of water ice, the best one I've ever had, um, maybe came out of Rita's. I can't think of anywhere else, but
Yeah.
it's just not something I go look for. So I'd say, probably D tier.
like here. So like I know water ice is iconic, and I know we're probably gonna get a lot of complaints because there are some big water ice fans out here. But like he said, he's talking about Rita's, right? It's called Rita's water ice. And the first thing I do when I get to Rita's water ice is look for the custard.
Yep.
I feel like that defines my experience with water ice.
100%.
It's not going to be my first option. I'm not going to take it over an ice cream. If you give, yeah, like I agree with you, David. I probably
Like if
I'd rather go to.
one, in my opinion, I was staying quiet about the peanut chew. If something had to go in D tier, it'd be water ice.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can do that. I'm okay with that, but I'll put it over peanut chews, to be honest.
I
Now,
feel
if you go somewhere, like I've never been to areas of Mexico where they do this, or like in Southeast Asia, but if you get like real fruit juice and they thinly shave the ice, they got their own version of water ice that looks and sounds pretty good.
yeah, because I mean they've got a gelato in Italy, and they do it really well. That's like water ice, but it's almost got like the consistency of ice cream. Like it's pretty crazy. I can't really like describe it, but that's really good. But we're talking about water ice. We're not talking about gelato.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was gelato, definitely C, B tier.
Yeah.
But just water ice on itself, I think. Yeah, if you're over the age of 5, why are you eating water ice?
Or
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
water ice
I
is
agree.
basically just a popsicle in a cup.
Yeah,
That's a good way of putting it.
it's snow cone.
Yeah, it's a smoother snow cone. It's a popsicle in a cup.
It's a
Yeah, I'll
lot
live
better
with
than a snow cone, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got pepper pot.
What the fuck is that?
I've never had it.
So it's a I looked it up. It's a Caribbean dish. It originated in Philadelphia. It's like a spicy stew with inexpensive cuts of meat, vegetables, and an abundance of spices and hot peppers.
Yeah, if there's one thing on this list that does not sound Philly at all, it's this one.
I would put that
I've
below
never had it.
everything. I'd put that at the bottom of D tier.
I've never had it.
Well, we've never had it. So we just put never tried.
Yeah, you
but
gotta be fair. You never know. It could be
It's just a pot roast with peppers in it.
It could be like the best thing we've ever had. I don't know. I gotta go back home and try. I gotta try a Schmitter and I gotta try pepper pot.
Yeah, Dave's gonna
Yeah,
go
me
down to
too.
Philly like, hey, excuse me, sir, may I have a pepper pot, please? one pepper pot for the whitest boy ever.
I was just in St. Lucia, and I was downing Caribbean, or I was putting down Caribbean food for a while until I had some local authentic food down on that island, and I was pleasantly surprised by a bunch of the meats that I had. I could see this pepper pot potentially being pretty good.
Yeah. And don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? That's fair. That's fair. I'm being a negative Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're being a real Debbie Downer.
I would say
Yeah, if
have
you ever Nancy
optimism
talks to
until
me
you
that
try
way
it.
again,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get involved.
I gotta agree with David. Luke's just being mean.
I'll show you I'll show you what a pepper pot is, you punk. All right, last but not least, we have the Philly taco.
Can't say I've had one.
So we both
what's
know
in
what
it?
the
I
Philly
may have had
taco
it.
is because
It is
I never heard of it.
it is a cheesesteak wrapped in a pizza.
I've
I-
had it.
I feel like that's just
Okay.
gluttons. I'd rather have them separately. I'd rather have a cheesesteak in one hand and a piece of pizza in the other. The gluttony of man knows no bounds.
Well, so I didn't have a cheesesteak wrapped in pizza. I had a pizza with cheesesteak filling and cheese and fried onions inside, and it was great.
But I feel like that's a cheesesteak pizza.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, but that's the opposite. That's the cheesesteak. That's just cheesesteak toppings on a pizza. Like I thought this was like the whole sandwich, like the bread and everything.
Yeah, I think that's what this is. It's a cheesesteak wrapped in a pizza. That's all it is.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking like it's like the cheesesteak with the bread and everything, and then the pizza has like toppings on it and everything. That's what it
But
sounds.
I've never had it, so I can't really give a rating. You know, maybe it's the best thing known to man.
Yeah, it's a cheesesteak sandwich wrapped in a jumbo slice. It is the Lorenzo Jim's Challenge. It was created in 2003 as a challenge on South Street. So it's
Sure.
a food challenge. I was right. It's the gluttony of man.
None of us have ever had it.
I feel like gluttony
Yeah,
should be
technically
one
not.
of the 7 deadly sins. This is gluttonous.
I bet it would be better than Tasty Cake, but I'd have to try it.
I feel like that's too much, though. I feel like you're doing too much.
I think if I have this, I'm not going to eat anything for the rest of the day.
I'd rather have them separately. I'd rather have the pizza and the cheesesteak separate.
Yeah,
Don't
I mean,
knock
a
it
lot
till
of
you try
things
it.
aren't. A lot of things just aren't meant to be mixed, and sometimes that really takes down the level of the dish. And I think you're right. I think combining two of my favorite foods, pizza and a cheesesteak, it wouldn't be as good as just a standalone pizza and cheesesteak on the list.
I feel like this is the gluttony of America manifest.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, it's completely egregious, and
This is-
anyone
this is
who
Sodom and
orders that
Gomorrah.
over just a
I feel
cheesesteak or a
like-
pizza should be jailed.
I
and
feel like our-
shamed.
Greed and gluttony
I
should
agree.
be punished.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
Yeah, huge red flag if, you take a chick on a date and she gets that as her first dish. You gotta be careful with those.
Yeah, you meet the girl of your dreams. She's like, "Let me take you down to South Street. Get a Philly taco." Like,
Red
You're
flag.
thinking to yourself, yeah, tacos, that sounds good. You walk up
That's
to
a
the
huge
counter.
step up on her plate.
Yeah, you walk up to the counter and you just see like, what is this thing?
What if you go up to the counter and she's like a regular there too? They're like, "Oh yeah, the Philly taco for you." Like,
That's even more of a red flag there too. I mean,
I feel like once she has enough of the Philly tacos, I feel like she's gonna eat you. Like if she can eat that whole thing, she could definitely eat a person.
yeah.
Goodness gracious.
It's the greed of
I know.
man. We need to be punished for our transactions.
Alrighty, well, that's the list. I mean, so here we have it. We have S tier, the cheesesteak, the Italian hoagie, the soft pretzel, and the crab fries. A tier is the tomato pie, stromboli, roast pork. B is tasty cake, Scrabble, and Texas Tommy. C, we have the Schmitter. D, we have water ice and peanut chews. And we have never had a citywide, a Clover Club, a combo, an Irish potato, pepper pot, or a Philly taco.
And I mean, we
we-
even found a friend for the Clover Club, and my brother never had one either.
Yeah, that's like,
He's a big cocktail, so yeah, I was actually really surprised that he said he never heard of this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm liking how the list looks. I mean, the only thing, and I know I'm not going to win the argument. The only argument I'd make is the Texas Tommy over Scrapple, but I'm not. I don't know if I'd die on that hill. That's the only position I would change on here.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good list. I would just have to take down the soft pretzel. I just do not think it deserves S tier at all. I think everything in A tier beats it easily by seasoning and flavor profile. And, you know, you can make an argument even maybe for textures, just because there's different textures in those bites too. But I can understand why you'd want to put a soft pretzel in S, but I just don't think it's deserving of it. Other than that, I think the list is pretty accurate.
I have a very soft spot for the soft pretzel just because when I only had $1 in my wallet, the soft pretzel was there for me.
And I think that does something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that definitely does something to the ranking.
Soft pretzel's very, very nostalgic and still a comfort food.
Yeah. Well, no matter how poor you are, I mean, food is food. You got to rate it just based on the quality of the food, in my opinion. So that's my
That's
take.
fair.
I'll leave it at that. But,
That's fair.
I can understand why there may be some slight bias.
Oh yeah, there's absolute bias on a food tier list. Everyone has a different palate.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to change the list, I personally would put tomato pie and S tier. That's just me. I mean, like you said about soft pretzels, tomato pie has just always been there for me.
Yeah. I get that, but I feel like we already have 4 in the S tier. Having the S tier have more than every other tier except haven't tried it. I feel like that defeats the point of a tier list.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, yeah, I'm happy with this list.
Yeah, I think we did a good job.
Some people might not. Some people are not going to be happy with this. There's going to be
I
like,
feel like there are some water ice fans out there ready to jump
Yeah.
up.
well, I'll just say this: we lost our Rita's sponsorship. Like if we had ever had a dream of getting
No, I
sponsored by
defended the
Rita's,
custard. I defended the custard. We can
we like the we like the gelati. We like the gelati.
I defended the
Gelati's
custard.
delicious.
It's still on the table.
Look, you dropped a Rita's potential partnership in the future, but you gained a potential corporate lease partnership, which I think will be more lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Core Police, man. Yeah, you know Core Police is good when you have to order it like a day before or like in the morning. Like it's one of those places. You know what I
Looking
mean?
at this list, I have to absolutely say that anywhere in the nation, Philadelphia has the best sandwiches. If you're a sandwich guy, head to Philly. That's where they're gonna take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd take a cheesesteak over a chopped cheese. I mean, I'd take a hoagie over. I don't even know what the hell they have in New York. I'd have to go over and try them, but I can't imagine them being fucking a hoagie.
Hoagies and everything in New York.
If they don't do it like they do it
No.
like
No, they don't. I wouldn't say it's like iconic in New York, but New York really has the bacon, egg, and cheese. That's really their jam. And I got to tell you,
That's
it's
a
good
tough
sandwich.
call.
I got to tell you, that's a good sandwich. New York does a bacon, egg, and cheese right.
Well, I've had bacon, egg, and cheeses in Jersey and New York. I've had much better ones in Jersey.
Yeah, well, I feel like Jersey is like I don't want to talk down to anyone from Jersey. This isn't my attention at all, but I feel like Jersey kind of feels like the developmental league for Pennsylvania and New York. Like I feel like it counts for both of them. Like I feel like if you get a good hoagie in Sea Isle, I feel like that counts just as much as getting one in Philadelphia proper.
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, it's a respectful way of making the viewers understand what the food in Jersey's like.
Jersey does New York and Philly really well. Like it's like a melting pot of both. Jersey has great food.
Shout out
Yeah,
to Jersey.
it's a lot better
hard to
than
find bad
most.
food in New Jersey.
Jersey's got a lot more better food than most states people realize.
You want to know the worst state for food? Delaware. There's nothing to eat in Delaware.
Dude, you have not been to the middle of Virginia. Or I'm sorry, not Virginia, West Virginia.
Oh well, there's not.
Dude, there is nothing out in West Virginia. I mean, literally.
I mean,
not
it's a
just by
it's a very poor state. It wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a lot to eat.
Yeah, one place that I was pleasantly surprised by the food is Atlanta. Atlanta's got some great soul food.
The only thing I ever ate in Atlanta was Cookout, and Cookout's
Wow.
a That's all
bold.
driving
I mean,
through.
I don't know how you could go to Atlanta and just have cookout. Dude, their food is incredible.
I was driving through. It was like 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
All right. Well, I guess we can wrap the episode. Thanks so much for coming on, Dave. Our
Yeah,
first
thank you.
star made a huge impact. It was a lot of fun talking to you. Made sure to give your YouTube a follow. I'm definitely going to be following along on your videos. I mean, you gave some very nuanced and great takes. It was a pleasure to have you. We'd love to have you again. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a pleasure. You know, I'm sure we've crossed paths in Shiba Dave or maybe in other ways, maybe playing football once or twice, but it's nice to talk to you again. And Luke, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully we can do this again in the future.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Let's do it again. We'll put all your links in the description for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.